This is UG of A, man. We in here like swimming. We swimming channels deeper than Michael Phelps just to get felt, man. We getting it back. We gonna come back. We live and direct from the Black Xbox, that is. This is UG of A, also known as the United Ghettos of America. We spell America with three K's. So if you don't put the three K's at the back of the America, see us, you'll see Yuck Mouth. Salute to Yuck Mouth. So yeah, man, revolutionary soldiers on the rise at all times, man. You know what I mean? From this day to the next day, man. So what we got? We see a lot of people out here going through a lot of stuff out here, man. And we what you call it? We watching, and we looking, and we hearing. But we staying in our lane, man. So you know, if everybody stay in their lane, we should stay in your lane, man. When we ain't trying to gang bang, we just tell you to stay in your lane. That means if it don't concern you, then you shouldn't have nothing to say about it. If you do have opinion about it, you might as well keep it to yourself. You did, because if you don't, 1,000 points. If you don't, then you can jump into some water that's deep. Now you can swim in the deep feet, you can swim in the small feet, but this ain't your swim, man. So you know what I mean? Be careful, stay in your lane, be dangerous if that's what you claim. But at the same time, maintain, man, and do everything responsibly and respectable. So this is gonna be called responsible and respectable. Just for the record though. You know what I'm saying? So hit them buttons. You know what to do. It's three of them. Press one and you know what I mean? Show some show some respect and salute the truth. You know what I mean? Because it's very seldom that you hear the truth, and a lot of people don't like the truth. So be careful when you speak the truth, because people be angry with you. You dig? So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about the angries, the hatefuls, and all the other un untruthful people, places, and things and everything. You know what I mean? But you can't get no better than this, man. The late great Luther Vandross told you in his words, a house is a house, a chair is a chair, even if nobody's there. So that means a person, a place, a thing is always going to be what it's going to be, no matter what me or you or he or she thinks about, or what our opinion or how we feel about it is. So you can't come into something and change the rules that already exist, or that already existed before you even came into the mix of getting into the groove of it. You dig me? So man, don't be no fool, man. Do everything respectably and responsibly. Respectfully and responsibly. So if you're respecting yourself, then you can respect everyone else. If you're disrespecting yourself, that means you have no morals, you have no standards of how low you will go, because you can be bought and you will sell your soul for a jelly roll, and then you will know that you have been misleaded, you know, because the thing that I heard from my boy David Chappelle was, once you are able to be offered to be paid a $50 million paycheck, or offered to be paid millions of dollars for whatever that it is, once they sign you and pay you this type of money, you don't belong to you anymore, because it's a long list, and there's principality behind that 5 million or however many millions that you're signing for. So it's going to be a sacrifice to go with that. So you're not going to be able to be you. You're not going to be able to hang with where you hang at. You ain't going to be able to drive what you drive. There's going to be a lot of people that you don't know that are around you, and they're going to be offering and there to do a lot of things that you probably could do for yourself, or you probably been doing for yourself, or if you have a significant other or whoever that it may be is doing these things for you. So you need not to have them in your way. But hey, if he's paying you $50 million, he'll say lose them and gain these, and all of these are his eyes and his ears and his people that he put in position to make sure you don't get out of line, so you can stay in the mission, and you will stay monitored, dictated, player hated and messed up in the fact that where you will never ever to be heard, but you'll be seen. But everything that they do hear from you is not your thoughts and not your true feelings. Because you know why? You were not being responsibly and respectable to yourself because you allowed a person to come to you, offer you something that you might not have a lot of, but you have some of, and you have a lot of ways of getting more. So that means you second guess and disregarded the knowledge and the things that you know and the talent that you have and that you need to know and stood on fast, convenient way and you got just what you asked for. You belittled yourself and hired someone up in their way that they want to be higher up. And now they're manipulating you and playing you to be the fool because you sold your soul for a jelly roll. Okay? If you don't like the job, you shouldn't do it. If you don't take pride in your work, you should not work on things. Okay? If it was fixed before you started doing anything to it, then you are responsible to make it back the way it was. But you're supposed to be improving it. So these are the things that go on. Now, is that out of hatred? Is that out of um, just a simple mistake? Or is that just a way of getting around and involved with you? But if I get done with this fast and I do it correctly, you don't think ahead. You say, okay, well, then maybe they'll not want to deal with me anymore. But if I prolong this, maybe I get more time, more money, more whatever that their motive is. Because a lot of people have hidden agendas, hidden motives, and only how you can expose them is just like when you expose a snitch or a confidential informer. You have to go to the show, so that means you have to be around, entertain them to know if they're trying to play you, or are they just that dumb, or are you just that stupid? You know, however you want to do it. But okay, you fool me once, hey, that's on me. You fool me twice, man, you can't keep doing me this way. You fool me three times, wow. Why is it always a situation where me and you are having a conversation or whatever thing that it may be, and then guess what? I find myself having to deal with you on these things that I'm speaking on, okay? Because there's not no respect, and there's no responsibility in nothing that you do or you speak or you say or whatever it is that comes your way. You don't understand to respect, to honor, not to cherish, but to understand that, hey, my bad. People is gonna be people. Things are gonna happen, and it's all according and all up to you. Okay, on how. Oh man, wow. Okay, here we go. On how these things play out. You know what I mean? See, things can play out a lot of ways. Things can happen a lot of ways. But how will you respond? Each time that you have a situation, you should respond to each situation better every time that you have a situation. So you don't want to get worse or staying the same. You want to handle situations in a better way because the first thing that a person that's not responsible and not being respectable will do is be quick to anger over a situation that if communication can't if communication can't solve it, then hey, I don't think it can be solved because from my knowledge, communication had to make the situation because everything starts from communication. Communication rule the nation. Salute. Okay, we speaking the truth, the absolute truth, nothing but the truth. So help us free or so help us be, man. This is the United Ghettos. of America, and we are solutional revolutionary brothers here, and we are people that don't take um, things for granted. We are people that don't just take people's words for things, but we hear them and we understand them. It's not that we doubt them. It's not that we don't like them. It's that we are hearing things that you are saying that has no solid ground to stand on that we could see because of the communication. So guess what? You must further huh, educate us on what are you meaning about these things that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And what does it mean when you're saying what you're saying? Because if you do know the English language pretty well, I'm sure that everybody's domesticated and educated and institutionalized all at the same time, all on the same token. You know what I mean? Bless your hearts. You know what I mean? And once upon a Christmas, we all been there, and we all been blinded to the things that hinder us, to the things that hindered us, to the things that makes us second guess who we are, and we all know who we are, and we all know who we're supposed to be. Okay, because if I am him and he is I, and I am made in the image of him, and if I believe I can do the works of him, then who am I? If Martin Luther King is not here anymore, but he had a dream, his famous speech, should I say, and everything that he said in that famous speech, I am touching, looking at, and seeing generations of people living this dream. So if I'm living a dream of Martin Luther King, then who the hell am I? I am Martin Luther King. I am Malcolm X. I am. Okay? Because the things that they put on the line to make a better way for their day, for their people, for the generations of people to come, and to show you what, excuse me, patience look like, and to show you what impatience look like, to show you what growth is, and to show you what not growing is. Because you're supposed to grow through things as you go through things, not just go through things and don't grow through things. So you must grow through the things that you encounter, not just go through them and don't grow through them. Okay? Anything that you are in or are having a situation with, you should be really like in tune into understanding and knowing it and being respectable and responsible at the same time. That is with everything that you do. Indeed, okay. If you do everything in good deed, okay, you're doing everything respectably and responsibly for you and everything that's encountering you in this situation. You did. So it's not a lecture. It's not nothing hard. I know that people's attention span is real small and real low. It's not to criticize them. But guess what? Sometimes it takes time to develop a solution, an answer, or closure to a situation. You didn't just pop out the microwave. It was a process. You were known to be coming soon to a ghetto near me. But when you were born, it was a process. And that process was a cycle. So it was 9 months of this situation taking place. Then he lives. Then she lives. Okay? So that's going to be in life. If it was a cycle to make you, then it's going to be a cycle to whatever you get into after you've been made. If that makes any sense to you guys. I hope you guys are following me for the simple fact that if you have a question, I have an answer. If you ask me something and I'm not to the point of familiar with the things you're asking me, or I just know the basics, The only how that I would be able to get more into it, if I was into it, that'll make me research into it because I'm speaking to you about it. So it's not the point that he doesn't know or she doesn't know. They never put their mind to know it because it was never an interest for them. But now they're hearing you speak on it and hearing other people speak on it. Now they're hearing about it. Now they do their research. Okay. So if I hand you a book and say it's a very good book, book allegedly, but you look into the book to get what you need out of the book, if you get anything out of it all. But okay, if I met any person or I knew a person and they were to say, hey man, this book right here is very powerful. This book right here changed my life. I like this book a lot. A friend of mine referred me to the book. And ever since I read the book, I introduced it to someone else. Now that's a person that's loving the knowledge. They thirst for the knowledge, got the knowledge, hold on to it, give it to the ones that need it, the ones that have the ambition in their heart to achieve it respectably and responsibly, should I say. Okay? So once you're doing that, you're putting that into the universe. When you put respectfully, responsibly into the universe, and that means you're respectfully and responsibly to the tree. You're respectfully and responsibly to the grass, to the ground, to your car, to the neighbor, to the mailman, to the lady at the store, the cash register, to whatever human being that you encounter or have eye contact with. You're to be respectfully and responsibly. That means greetings. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Okay. Those type of things. Okay. But when you speak, or when you do speak, you want to speak in these formations, right? I know you haven't been trained to do this, and you've been trained to do that, okay? But before you make an opinion, before you pass judgment, and be firm on a judgment that was something that was not done, something that was planted in you about this individual or this place or whatever, don't let what don't let the seeds that was planted in your head become weeds, and you know the rest. So just because they had that experience with this person doesn't mean you're gonna have this experience with that person. Now, if they tell you this person, might have sticky fingers or something, hey, only time will tell. If you keep a person around you and they're into that, eventually something's gonna start coming up missing. You know. So once you know that, it's not for you to get mad and hurt them because they're gonna steal from everyone and anyone. Then they're gonna be no one but themselves, and they're already stealing from themselves. So guess what? A house is a house, a chair is a chair, even if nobody's there. So the problems are always gonna be the problem. It's never gonna change just because you got through it and it's over and behind you doesn't erase the fact that it happened. Okay? Now, I don't say things to get people mad and upset, but the truth makes people mad and upset. So I was watching No Jumper, and what's his name? His name is dang, Snoopy Badass, right? Now he had a situation going on where he witnessed some guy allegedly killed his homie. Hold up. He never seen the guy. He went one way, his homie went the other way. Boom, he hears the boom. Boom, he don't go look for his homie. But he know he didn't see his homie. He ran, long story short, to the homie's house, to the mama house, told her that his folks was over there, D-Zed. She come back. She want to cooperate with the police. She don't know nothing. So she tell him to tell what happened. Now, he made a statement saying that it was a bush. There's no bush around there, this and things like that. But he's pointing fingers at anything that doesn't consist him that could harm or help a person, but the way you're going about it is you're dealing with them people, with them pilgrims, to translate it over instead of being a man and being able to translate it just like it is and stand on everything that it is without the degrees and the pat on the back and the certificates. Okay, because it looks really nice. It looks awfully nice. But look at this part right here. Just because you got that doesn't put you on a level of better than the person that never had that, that don't have that. You know? So learn about these things on being responsibly and respectable. And don't do what you did yesterday, tomorrow, and next week. Try something new today. Try something new tomorrow. But never, well, you shouldn't almost anytime put a lot of stuff in one area or one bag. So use your body and your mind, heart, and soul to understand you don't need to do you that way as well. Respectfully and responsibly. That's the name of this video. The pleasure was all mine. Maybe next time it could be yours. Hit the thumbs up button. And I don't care who you tell. Go run, tell. Go run, go tell. Your mommy, auntie, your grandma, or whoever. Daggle that man again. Salute to the truth, man. Stand on it. Know what it is. Tell me though. Tell me though. What's good about mourning? And does the sun mourn? And why is there a Easter bunny on the resurrection of the Messiah? Dig that. Damn that and dig this. Let's start remembering y'all instead of recalling. So we have to do it respectfully and responsibly. On that note, I'm out. Peace, peace, peace. The pleasure's been mine. United Ghettos of America, UG of A, and we out with another one. Peace.